video, you will learn about differences of squares and perfect squares. Before we do this, let me show you a theory. A squared minus, let me just move this in. A squared minus B squared is equal to A plus B times A minus B. Don't believe me? Factor it out. A squared minus AB plus AB minus B. Well, this cancels out. We're left with A squared minus B squared. Well, that's basically differences of squares. That's a theory right there. And it applies to all other differences of squares. So, basically do the opposite right here. 16h squared minus 9x squared. We don't have any common factors per se, but they're definitely squares, right? So, in order to make sure that this, I don't know what it's called, but the middle part cancel out, we need to make sure that this cancels out. So, what's the square root of 16h squared? Well, that's 4h. 4 times 4 is 16h times h is h squared. And then what's the square root of 9x squared? That's 3x, isn't it? Now, we have 4h minus 3x. Now, add that to 4h minus 3x. No, multiply that to 4h. Bleh. I'm having a weird tongue twisting thing today. So, make sure you multiply 4h minus 3x times 4h plus 3x. There. Let's do the same for this. 9x squared minus 4z squared. Again, there are no common factors, but we can figure out the square roots. 3x minus 2z, right? And then add that. 3x plus 2z. Now, I'm not going to do this one yet, but if we were to use FOIL, it would be 9x squared minus, plus 6xz minus 6xz minus 4z squared. And this cancels out and we're left with 9x squared minus 4z squared. See how that all works out? Now, it's time for perfect squares. Perfect squares are even easier in my opinion. Perfect square trinomials are known as the squares of binomials. So, for example, a plus b squared is a perfect trinomial. When factored out, it becomes a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. And this applies to all values. Let's try this one. It says determine whether it is a perfect square. 9x squared minus 6x plus 4. Now, in my previous video, I did a few examples on how to factor out ax plus bx plus c expressions, trinomials, quadratics basically. So let's do it. 9 times 4 is 36, right? And what are factors of 36 that add up to 6? Well, negative 6. Let's see. 9 and 4, no. 12, 3, no. What else is there? 18 and 2. Well, it doesn't look like there really are any. Therefore, it is not a perfect square. Let's try this one now. Let's do it again. 9 times 4 is 36, yet again. Alright, so what adds up to 12? Well, let's see, 6 and 6. So if we were to write 4y squared plus 6y plus 6y plus 9, would this turn out to be a perfect square? Let's find out. You can see, and we do end up with a perfect square. As you can see, the values are the same here and they're the same here. 2y plus 3 times 2y plus 3. And there you have it. That is a perfect square. Hope you got something out of this video.